Hi, so this is my 8 months video. I'm officially moved into my new place. It's super awesome, as you can see. I actually was reminded that I should make this video today because I was taking the train here, and I was sitting next to this guy, and he was trying to ask if he could borrow a pen, but he kept looking at me and going, "Miss? Miss?" And I just, totally tuned it out. And he was like, "Excuse me," and I was like, "Oh, what?" And he heard my deep voice and looked really surprised and asked for the pen, and we had that whole interaction. And then a few minutes, after we had talked and I'd gone back to my book and he'd gone back to whatever he was doing, he said, "I'm sorry, did I call you Miss?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, you did." And he was like, "I'm sorry, the hair just fooled me," and, we both had a laugh about it. And, I thought it was interesting because that type of language is, the language that I'm most interested in about being trans and being, I don't know, gender non-normative, is that people say stuff like, "Your hair fooled me." What does that even mean, if you think about it? I don't know, first of all, it implies that I was trying to trick him, or with my appearance, or, I was in some way, manipulating space and time to make myself look more feminine than a guy should be. It's just I don't know, people say stuff like that all the time, and it's totally okay to use that language of "Oh, your hair fooled me," or I don't know. People have said things, using manipulative language with me all the time, implying that, because I have this gender presentation, I am, tricking them, or, pulling the wool over their eyes or something. And in some ways it makes me angry because it really just shows, how embedded in society our perceptions of, man and woman, masculine and feminine are, because I'm not really tricking anyone. I'm not trying to make him think that I'm a girl. I'm just being who I am, and I don't know. It's frustrating in some lights, and I was thinking on the train ride, it is frustrating sometimes, but it is also kind of a blessing as well, because I think that a lot of people find the mystery and the allure of androgyny to be very seductive, and kind of are enamored with the mystery of a person who they can't figure out. Other people, like this man who was trying to borrow a pen, are not allured by it. They're just frustrated and almost ashamed that they couldn't read my gender correctly, which I think is just such a weird concept, but whatever. So I was thinking more about the idea of seduction, because I'm reading this book about seduction right now. And one of the ways that it lists that you can, easily seduce people, and not necessarily in a sexual way, maybe in, a friendship way, any way to, get people on your side and be your friend or whatever, one of the ways that it lists is by being androgynous, because you can appeal to both the masculine and the feminine. So, if you're trying to, get a girl to be your friend and to want to do stuff with you and hang out, you can appeal to her feminine side as a man by doing things that are typically feminine, asking questions about her and, wanting to converse, knowing, the details of something, and, conversing in a feminine way. And then if you want to, I don't know, attract a man, the book didn't really go into that because it's very heteronormative, unfortunately, but you can play into your masculine side to show a man that you are similar to him. And yet, because you're androgynous, you are similar to both genders, but you are not exactly that gender. So, if I were trying to attract a girl, I can show her that I'm, feminine in my conversation, but maybe in my physicality, I can, adopt more masculine postures, and she knows that, I'm similar to her, but that I'm still gonna be, dominant and, masculine in the ways that she might want me to be. So I thought it was very interesting because I've been down a lot, not recently, but often I've been down about the idea that, a lot of trans people think this, that no one will ever find me attractive because I'm just too weird, or you know, I'm trans and, like, they're just gonna be totally turned off by that, or I'm gonna be somebody's fetish, which is, like, 10 times worse. So I was thinking about that, and thinking about the, like, seduction thing. The fact that so few people can claim to know both genders so well, I think makes trans people very seductive. Like, I think, not in a bad way, but you can totally use it to manipulate people. Like, you can play into the side that, like, yes, I'm just like one of the girls because I do understand some of your problems, and I understand how your mind works because I have a similar mind. And then I can also play into, like, being just one of the guys because of, like, my newfound biology, thanks to testosterone, and, like, because of my social situations, like, at work and at the store, whatever, I'm perceived as a man, so I understand, like, what they go through there. And I think it's, like, a very powerful, reassuring thing to realize as a trans person that even though society will knock me down sometimes, like, I don't know, I have power in that way because no one else can claim to know both genders in the same way that, like, a gender non-normative person can. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was a nice train ride. But yeah, so that's basically my update for today because there haven't been that many physical changes. I have been getting, like, a lot of acne. It's really making me sad. What I've been doing is I'm a big fan of, like, natural cosmetics, and I've been using coconut oil on the left side of my face to help with the acne, and tea tree oil, I believe, on the right side of the face, so it's a competition. We'll see which side wins. I'm on, like, day 4, so there's not really any obvious changes yet. And then I will say the last thing for my update is I'm curious from you all. I am on a religious quest right now, and I'm just kind of like, it's a very complicated quest. I don't consider myself a religious person, but rather maybe spiritual slash I like to uphold lies that make people happy, and I think that religion is a lie that will make me a happier person. So I'm on a quest to find a religion. Right now I'm looking at Orthodox, Greek Orthodox Christianity, and looking at Taoism as well. And I'm curious if any of you are religious, as well as being trans or gender non-normative, and if your religion supports your transition or not, because while I could go stealth in my religious quest, I really like to, you know, whichever person I'm talking to that represents the religion, I'd like to be out to them, because I want to see how they react. And so if you have any advice for accepting religions that I should check out, I would totally appreciate it. I think that's it for today. Sorry for the somewhat lengthy video, but I had to document that philosophical thought that I had on the train, and I thought you all would appreciate it as well. So yeah, that's all for this time. Next time will be 9 months, and soon it will be a year. Oh my gosh. Alright, bye for now.